his types of jokes in this manner just show the insensitivity and the cavalier attitude of the governor and the present state administration. We all know that the state seems to be very insensitive, the administration does, as to the economic woes of Oklahoma. And this just typifies that they are also insensitive as to the social welfare of Oklahoma.
Who else are you delivering them to?
Just him.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
He's the only honored guest we have.
Well, that's really nice. We appreciate that.
Okay.
Make sure he gets them.
Okay.
Make sure he gets them.
Okay.
He is Shangri-La, just for your information. He's speaking to economic. Naturally.
We did have one in Norman, but some of that mailing got out late, and what we're all about and where we're going. I'm asking you, and I'm almost telling you, please sign that if you haven't. Take one of those pieces of paper, an envelope, and pencil. Write with 7,500 members. We, present to date, have over 2,600 signatures of people who said that we'd be a viable group to represent the horsemen in this state.
And you think that's a powerful lobby?
Yes, I do.
We have two things in mind that we hope that we'll accomplish there. One is to increase our exports to that part of the world, and not only just grain, but manufactured goods too. The other is to encourage investments from that part of the country, and in particular Japan.
When Lieutenant Governor Spencer Bernard announced in July the state would open a trade office in the Orient, no one would have guessed the expenditure some called excessive would bear fruit in just 4 months. A personal visit from George Nye and numerous trips by Bernard have apparently sealed the deal to bring Hitachi to Oklahoma. These invitations from George Nye and Spencer Bernard, promising discussion of a significant economic development at a luncheon next Monday, have been mailed to prominent Oklahoma citizens. News 4 has learned the president of Hitachi will be at this luncheon to announce his plans to build a manufacturing plant in Norman. Reportedly, the Hitachi plant will be located at the southeast corner of Highway 9 and Highway 77 in Norman. Unconfirmed reports say the factory will manufacture large computer storage devices. It is unknown how large the facility will be, but one source estimates as many as 1,000 people could eventually be employed there. The Oklahoma plant will be one of 10 Hitachi Limited subsidiaries in the United States. The other facilities manufacture everything from consumer goods to high-tech microchips for industrial-scale computers. Today, Hitachi Limited gave Oklahomans a sneak preview of their intentions. In a full-page ad in this morning's Daily Oklahoman, Hitachi promotes its corporate charities and points to its American plants with pride, and even promises, quote, "In the future, Hitachi will open more local manufacturing facilities."
They have special insulation for pipes made out of, it's like polyurethane that they can buy in plumbing stores. That is for a certain size pipe will fit and it's slit. And what they do is they just put it over it and then tape it.
Yesterday, the U.S. Senate passed its version of the Farm Bill. It calls for freezing subsidy rates next year and then dropping them by 5% for the next 3 years. But that blow would be softened by giving farmers in-kind commodities to replace the cuts in 1987 and 88. A final Farm Bill version now has to be hammered out by the House and Senate. But officials of one major farm organization are hopeful the bill will help keep farmers in business.
What we're looking for is a stable market at market clearing levels. In the interim, a program that can keep the farmer from just going completely bust because of the wheat prices.
The Oklahoma Farm Bureau begins its 44th annual meeting tomorrow. At the news conference today, Lockett said about 5% of Oklahoma farmers are beyond help. Another 14%, he said, are in trouble, but could be saved.
If things work right in the farm credit areas and the Farm Bill area and the deficit and all those other things that have an impact on us, if those work right, then that 14%, there's no need for them to go under.
Farm Bureau officials say the next 3 years will not provide much relief to farmers, but they say they are optimistic that the things being done now may help preserve the long-term future of the country's farmers. Jeff Fowler, News 4.
When Hitachi President Katsushige Mita took the podium at the state capitol today, everyone in the room knew his company had decided to build a plant in Norman. But what surprised this crowd was the industrial giant's commitment and respect for the Sooner State.
We selected Oklahoma as a place for manufacturing highly sophisticated computer devices, mainly because we know the required human resources are available here. Also, it is because we are impressed by the high value which Oklahomans have traditionally placed on hard work and reliability.
Anytime a major high-tech corporation decides to locate in Oklahoma, the governor has reason to smile. But today's announcement has special significance to George Nye. The governor and lieutenant governor pushed for funds to open an office in the Orient at a time when some considered the expenditure excessive. Nye told his special guest that this announcement couldn't have come at a better time.
Although other cultures and other countries celebrate their thankfulness in various ways, our country has a very special holiday called Thanksgiving, and you have just given us an even better reason as Oklahomans to be thankful for this season. Thank you very much.
The Japanese delegation confirmed the factory will be open in April of 1987. Initially, the disk drive manufacturing plant will only employ 100 people, but eventually the workforce is expected to exceed 500. Apparently, Oklahoma bucked some tough competition to land this grand prize.
We have studied more than 20 sites before we made the final decision. And the reason why we decided Norman as our site is that people in this area are very diligent, and high technologies are easily available, and has a good environment annexed to the University of Oklahoma.
And I think that the writer is... The story said that I could well be the next governor in the state of Oklahoma. And I think that the writer is very accurate. I think it's somewhat prophetic. I think the possibility strongly exists that in Oklahoma, a steak and ale waiter can become governor.
Okay. You know, I guess, always wanted to serve in public office. My father was a congressman, and he was the youngest congressman since Henry Clay at the time he was elected back in 1937. He was only 26 years old. And my earliest memories were of people like Sam Rayburn, who used to come to our apartment when I was a child and get down in the middle of the floor with me and put chairs and blankets together and get down and pretend like we had a tent out in the wild someplace and talk with me, and being taken over to the White House when President Roosevelt was president and later President Truman. So I guess that bug bit me very early.
We will have all available manpower on the highways during the 4-day holiday to get the people to slow down, watch all the moving violations, and also to be out there to help the motoring public in case they do break down at the side of the road.
Mother's Day, Father's Day, Memorial Day, Labor Day, the holidays are always busy for us, but of course nobody gives gifts like they do at Christmas, so it's very important. Wait for it all year.
For nearly half a year, supporters have been trying to transform this Midwest City home into a group home for the mentally retarded. 120 area residents signed a petition opposing the group home last summer. However, no one spoke against the proposal at tonight's Midwest City Planning Commission meeting. The proposed facility would be similar to this existing Midwest City group home. 7 mildly retarded residents and a house parent live together under the same roof. The group home allows the residents to live in a family setting instead of in an institution or nursing home.
It's like a family, you know, we can all sit around and talk. It's like sisters, and which I don't have, and so, you know, it's just like another family away from home.
Supporters say Oklahoma is far behind the rest of the country in its facilities for the mentally retarded.
Oklahoma is 50th in the nation in services for the mentally retarded, and we need to improve on that. And a group home is a definite step forward for Oklahoma.
The Midwest City Council will have the final say on whether other mentally retarded residents will get a chance to live in the community. Scott Wallace, News 4 in Midwest City.
Business is good right now at Teeners, but this is always the best month in the retail industry. The store markets some high-dollar merchandise. Big-ticket items like cowboy hats, boots, and even saddles are popular Christmas gifts.
$6.50?
Uh-huh. A good number of these boots will find their way under someone's Christmas tree. But here at Teeners, the month of December used to mean more than just holiday trade. For years, the owner of this store and many other retailers across the city counted on the National Finals Rodeo to boost December sales. The added revenue will be missed.
It was like having two Christmases. I mean, you'd have a Christmas in early December and then a Christmas in late December. So, yes, it's going to be a dramatic loss of sales that partially can be replaced by other events coming into town and everything, but I don't think anybody expects all the other events to add up to what the National Finals was for the economy in Oklahoma City.
And Oklahoma City's major hotels are feeling the pinch. The first week of December used to bring a packed house to the Skirvin. Today, many of the tables were empty. The manager remembers the way it used to be.
We would have been wall to wall with people. We would have had activity coming out from all of the portals of the building. The banquet rooms would have been jammed. We would have had cowboys, and we would have had belt salesmen, and we would have had all sorts of rodeo aficionados in every nook and cranny of the hotel. We lost the rodeo. Everything has changed.
Not everyone has come to terms with the hard, cold reality of this loss, but the Myriad will be empty this weekend. The NFR has gone west, and with it goes an estimated $10 to $12 million a year the city depended on for 20 years. Don't run off. Oklahoma City residents are quick to point out the drawbacks of staging the Super Bowl of rodeo in Las Vegas. Some locals claim the NFR will be a lounge act, not even a headliner in the city of stars. The Cowboys will compete head-to-head with the slot machines, Joan Rivers, and Wayne Newton for the entertainment dollars. It's too early to tell if the National Finals will be a success in Las Vegas, but with a 5-year contract, the city will have ample time to prove its worth. In Las Vegas, Nevada, Kurt Autry, News 4.
Dancing is not an easy way of life. It takes hours and hours of grueling practice to make a performance perfect. And this month's Nutcracker Ballet is perhaps more important than ever. The dance may be the last for many of these performers due to the lack of money. This is 23-year-old Elizabeth Mackey, who has danced with the company for 2 years. The native Floridian has spent the last 11 years of her life dancing, and it has been her choice to keep returning to Oklahoma to play out her love. For Mackey, what appears to be the inevitable hurts.
I think I blame the public. We need them to come to see us, and we do this for them. We work every single day, 6 hours in rehearsals and 2 hours in class for the public.
Mackey says despite the pressure of the company coming to a standstill, this year's performance of the Nutcracker may be the best. The dancers say if they have to go, they intend to go out on top, even though they expect the future to be tough.
The state is not, it's not just a cow town. It could be a very metropolitan city, and what they're doing is they're losing part of their artistry. They're not just losing a ballet company, they're losing a whole aspect of art. I think that they should just try to see what they've lost.
Sandra Brokenleg's testimony is only admissible if we
prove a lot of other factors in her case and show that the case of her kidnapping is similar to this case. And I think the judge has properly ruled on that. It would be improper for me to mention it at a time when we don't know whether it would be proper. I feel very confident when the time comes the testimony will be admissible.
Any comment for the press?
Mr. Warren, what about death threats? Where are you?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's something you got to do, but I didn't necessarily want to. I like the tag the way it was, but I had to pay it.
What kind of an increase did you see?
It went from $24.50 to $100 on the truck, and my motorcycle went from, I think, $12.50 to $50.
Anytime we have a federal prisoner escape, it's somewhat spontaneous, and the adrenaline, I'm sure, is pumping very much. For an individual to bail off the wing of an aircraft while it's in motion, yes, I would say he should be watched very closely.
Last year, for example, we said 16% of the employers said that they would increase their staffs, which is equivalent to what they're saying this year. However, only 16% of them were saying that they were going to be reducing their staffs. So we've got a greatly increased number that are saying that they will be reducing their staffs during the first quarter.
Like people in Oklahoma City. I think nothing about taking the L or the subway in Chicago. It was pathetic.
Well, I always, of course, I love railroad. You can see the penny miles of highway that cost $50 million today.
Corporation Commissioner, because of that?
I don't think it will be, I don't think there will be any difference. Perhaps I will dedicate more nights and weekends to this effort, but I certainly will protect and fulfill my responsibilities to the people of the state as a commissioner.
I've got a skeleton crew standing by tonight just in case something happens.
We'll have our regular crew coming in at 9 o'clock tonight, and we're as prepared as we can be, according to what the weatherman says.
But that's okay.
It's not meant to be authentic.
You don't really need a telescope to see Halley's Comet. It's bright enough, but a telescope lets you see some of the detail, especially some of the structure in the head and just behind it that you can't see without any other type of instrument. And a lot of people are interested in Halley's Comet.
Thank you.
What's that case behind it? Somebody take it. Who's taking him to the unit?
No, they're both going to the operating room. Can we use your Okay, Gar. Your knees are hitting. Bring your knees out as much as you can, honey.
It's okay, you're going indoors now. That's it.